The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Buenos días, virtuosos, y bienvenidos a esta introducción al programa Virtuoso Elevate 2020 para asesores de México. Estamos muy entusiasmados con el lanzamiento de este programa en México y estamos seguros de que ustedes también lo estarán. Y sin duda tendrán muchas preguntas, así que asegúrense de escribirlas en el cuadro de preguntas, en el panel de GoToMeeting, y las vamos a responder o el máximo que podamos al final de la presentación. Entonces, escuchen la presentación y luego entonces haremos las preguntas. And now I would like to introduce Tony Logan, Senior Manager, Global Cruise Programs at Virtuoso, who will tell us all we need to know about Elevate 2020. So, Tony, welcome, and the floor is all yours.
Gracias, Cristel. Thank you. Well, first and foremost, the Virtuoso Cruise Sales Department here in Seattle and globally is really committed to creating pathways to a better future for all of the advisors within our global network. And in January, we're going to be launching our inaugural year. We're so excited of the Mexico Elevate program. So for many of you, this is a new concept. You may or may not have heard components of it from our North American program, but we're so excited to launch it for you as well. And the real purpose of the Elevate program is to engage and inspire our virtuosos to transform their cruise business from excellent to exceptional. So we know that this network has proven time and time again that when we turn from reactionary sellers to proactive sellers, we can do almost anything together. So Elevate is all about the connection at the agency level as well. And we know that our cruise executives are keenly aware of the agencies and advisors that choose to engage in this program. So if you take this program seriously and work hard to achieve the goals and sales targets that we set forth, we know that once you go through it, you'll come out the other end a better advisor and much more successful. So the program itself is a 12-month program, and let me tell you a little bit more about it as we go through these few slides. We want you to set an ambitious sales goal. So if you're not used to setting sales goals, it's the time to do it with this program. And don't let anyone discourage you from growing your cruise sales into the business that you think and you know that your travelers will be delighted by. Never stop elevating your business. As we look at our team, I'm very proud of the team that we've assembled. And this year you'll work closely with Mallory, Danny, Cristel, and myself. And we're here for you. And we're excited to explore some unique and new ways to keep you on track. So this is the team that you see here. I wanted to also show you that our first year of Elevate in North America, we saw real strong success across all teams. And like all success stories, you must commit in order to reap the rewards. So if we look at the 2019 Elevate advisors, the overall growth was over 41%. And that's incredible. And we realize that not everybody will see such a fast improvement, but we need to start somewhere. And that's why we created Elevate. The word from our advisors is the program has helped them elevate their cruise sales through our sales and product training. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. But each webinar will offer the chance to learn the inside scoop, the behind-the-scenes information that maybe you wouldn't normally get just with a standard training. Not to be missed, if for some reason you cannot join the live webinar, which we encourage, we record everything. As Cristel mentioned, we always record everything and you can watch it at a later point. That being said, we would always prefer that you attend the live webinar whenever possible. So who are the teams? So for 2020, there will be 3 Virtuoso Elevate teams for our members in Mexico. Of course, we focus on luxury, so Crystal, Regent, Seven Seas Cruises, and Silversea have signed on and are looking to create small teams of highly motivated advisors. So you will notice in the application that we send afterwards that we ask for the top 2 team choices. You can only be on one team. So think strategically about which team you think might meet the needs of your clients and those who are your prospects. So here's the list that we have for this next year. And any advisor from the region can apply for the teams. There are 3 different ways that you can apply. Number 1 is that you have the sales, and here are the other 2. Number 2, you've been nominated by a cruise line. And number 3, you're highly motivated. Those are the three things that we look at. You may apply, again, for any team that you think would be best for your business, and you will likely be confirmed on the one that makes the most sense. So the first way to guarantee a spot is by simply having sales. So during the survey, you'll be asked about how much preferred supplier cruise sales you may have booked in the past year. It doesn't have to be exact, but try to get as close as you possibly can. So simply fill that in, and you'll be considered for an Elevate team. And like most of our programs, you must have the support of the agency owner or manager as well. And during the process, we'll ask them for their approval for you to be on a team. Number two, the second way you can earn a spot is by being nominated by one of our cruise partners. Many of them are out in the field and are meeting with you on a regular basis, and we want to have them have the ability to identify those who have the ambition to grow their cruise business. And last but not least, our third way to be considered is by showing us you are willing to put in the work to be a successful team member. And we will work with you here at Virtuoso, as well as with the cruise lines, to find the best possible teams for next year. And if you have the passion, we want you to be on a team. As we move forward, Elevate does not have any cost or price associated with being on a team in Mexico. This is a special way for you to participate, and you do not have to pay to do so. We do, however, require that all teammates sign up for the 2020 Virtuoso Voyages community, which does not have an additional cost for that program as well. So applications are available now for both programs and will be included in the follow-up to this webinar. And another important component of this program is our marketing. So at Virtuoso, our award-winning marketing helps inspire travel and remind clients about the unique travel experiences and benefits that only can be brought to them by a Virtuoso advisor. And like other programs, we're going to utilize those products themselves. So as we look, the Elevate program has marketing tools and resources that will help you drive that business. And this next April, we'll be doing a special Latin American insert. It's an 8-page editorial insert, and this piece will feature the dedicated and unique voice that those 3 cruise partners will give us. So it won't just be pricing, it really will be focused on inspiring new business. So that will come, and we will send you a digital edition as well. This is a little bit of a copy of what we used this year in North America, and it will be slightly different for next year for Latin America, but it will be an insert that looks incredible. We've been working with them, and we're really excited to have this special piece included this year. In addition, for Elevate, we'll be doing quarterly business consumer emails. This is, again, it's not a copy of what you'd see, but it is just an indication that we will be doing quarterly consumer emails that will be specifically highlighting those cruise partners and those teams that are participating in Elevate. And last but not least, we have our My Marketing platform, and we will be uploading 4 My Marketing videos. So if you want to proactively reach out, the 4 videos will be loaded into the platform and accessible to Elevate advisors at any time. So it's an easy-to-use tool, and again, we'll show you how to use it if you're not familiar. We also want to make sure that we're developing your professional knowledge as well, and we'll be giving you tools that you can use and feel confident in using as your career becomes stronger and stronger in this program. Elevate will provide continuous support through the program, and because we want to give you the tools in advance, we will be going over those early in the year to outline what's available to you as far as professional development. We are committed to providing quarterly webinar training. So some people ask us how much of a commitment is each year. We do 1 webinar per quarter that's cruise line specific. And during those calls, we, again, dive pretty deep into the latest information, getting insider details and changes that are happening at the cruise line. In addition to the quarterly webinars, some teams may also choose deep dive webinars that will zero in on cruise line specific products or destinations that might be helpful. So as a reminder, quarterly we will meet as a team. In addition to this, we are partnering with CLIA, which is the leader in trend setting, and we'll be joining them to identify cruise and destination trends that will be helpful to look for new areas where people are starting to look for cruise sales. So we'll be targeting with new marketing and cruise experiences working with our partners at CLIA. Last but not least, I'd also like to warmly welcome a new face to the Elevate world is Danny Cords, and he'll be working with us to help build your brand and bridge the gaps on what might be missing in your sales techniques. So Danny is going to be very, very helpful, and we'll have him on an upcoming call so he can explain in further detail the unique abilities that he will bring to the team. So let's look ahead. We're going to build and maintain strong relationships. We're going to embrace change, and we're going to figure out different ways to leverage your relationships, not only with your clients, but also with the cruise partner that you become a team member with. So we want to make sure that we embrace that. We know change is hard for many of us, and all ideas grow out of other ideas. So we want the teams to share their ideas as they grow through the year, and we'll have a platform that you can ask each other questions, or you can ask Virtuoso's questions to help foster connection and communication between the team members themselves. So, in addition, with Elevate, we have bonus incentives and opportunities that we'll work with the cruise lines for network receptions. Occasionally, we'll have access to ship inaugurals or refurbishments. Oftentimes, we'll also see team-specific incentives. So as we work with our cruise partners in this program, there may be carrots out there or incentives that keep you kind of engaged along the way and throughout the year. And ultimately, we want to help create icons. You probably haven't seen this before, but Virtuoso Cruise icons are our top 1% of cruise sellers in North America, and we would like to roll this out further. So we're looking to create the next generation of superstars out there, and we know that Elevate is one tool that can help you get there. As I mentioned, it is representative of the top 1% of cruise sales advisors, and there are recognitions and programs, fun programs, all around the icons. More about that later, but I wanted to let people know that we do have this program out there. So dream big, think about how to elevate your cruise business, and consider joining us. It'll be a year of fun and intrigue and interest, and we are here to help you. So without further ado, Christelle, I'm so thankful that everyone joined today. And if we have any questions, I'd be more than happy to have you answer them, or I can answer them. So please take it away.
Thank you so much, Tony, and I'm very excited with this. So just let me say it and remind them in Spanish for questions. You have to write them out so that we can read them out. Acuérdense, si tienen preguntas, tienen que escribirlas, entonces podré leerlas y Tony podrá responder. So we do have one question, Tony, and where can we find all the details about this program? On virtuoso.com, maybe?
Yes, there is a news article. So if you type the words Elevate in the top box, you'll see a news article that pops up. And there's quite a bit of information in there, as well as an FAQ or a fact. It answers all the questions that most people have come up with. If for some reason there are questions that aren't answered there or it is not clear, they can always type help@virtuoso.com and it will be forwarded to us.
Perfect. And I was also talking with the team, and we're going to have a special page for Mexico. So I'll just, let me just say it in Spanish. Vamos a tener, hay una página ya de Virtuoso Elevate en virtuoso.com para el mercado americano. Vamos a tener pronto una página también exclusiva para México. Entonces, este es un programa exclusivo para México con esas tres navieras. And the other question is, how do we register? I know the registration is still not open for Mexico. So you want me to go ahead and answer that?
Yep, absolutely.
So I'll say it in Spanish. Entonces, ¿cómo se registran para este programa? El registro en realidad es completar un formato de interés en participar. Una vez que completan ese formato, luego Virtuoso, junto con las navieras, seleccionan quiénes van a ser los participantes de este programa. Ese registro todavía no está listo. En este momento lo que estamos haciendo es presentándoles el programa para que ustedes se vayan entusiasmando, vayan aprendiendo, y para cerca de mediados de enero, ahí vamos a abrir el registro. Pero ya antes les vamos a mandar la lista de todos los componentes, de cuál es el proceso, para que ustedes, dueños, gerentes y asesores, vayan aprendiendo. Another question. Oh, how many advisors can participate from my agency?
Well, ultimately, we look at the applications, and the team size is 25 per team. So we'll work closely with the cruise line to make the final selections. I would encourage people to have as many applicants as many applicants as they have interest. But ultimately, we'll work with the cruise lines to make the final selections. We don't have a total number or limit to the number of people who can apply from any given agency. But a reminder that the teams themselves are 25 advisors per team.
Perfect. And just, I'm asking this, one advisor can only participate with one cruise line, so one team.
Right. We want people to make a commitment. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
We don't allow multiple advisors at this point to be on multiple teams. We want them to choose the team that makes the most sense for their near future work.
Perfect.
Yes. We feel like it's too much to be on multiple teams. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just say it in Spanish just in case. Entonces, solo van a poder seleccionar una naviera de las tres que participan, ¿sí? Entonces, no pueden participar en las tres a la vez. Tal vez próximos años, si quieren participar con otra, lo pueden hacer, pero quieren que se enfoquen y que incrementen, que busquen el incremento de sus ventas, la capacitación sobre ese que ustedes eligen y si son, por supuesto, confirmados para ese. Tony, let me see. We have another question. Oh, somebody asks, what is the difference between Virtuoso Voyages communities and this? Because you mentioned communities, that they have to be a part of the community.
Yes. So the difference is, with communities, we allow advisors, whether they're new to the business or they're very seasoned. The Virtuoso Voyages community has its own set of trainings and globetrotting at Virtuoso Week. It has some components that are unique to it, but you do not have to have a certain threshold to be a participant. With Elevate, we typically look for advisors who have some success in selling cruises, and it's to take their business to the next level. So the training that's associated with Elevate typically is a little bit more elevated. Sorry, we're using that word over and over, but it typically is more elevated than what you would see if you were just part of the community's platform.
And Tony, another question. Other trainings, of course, I guess Danny speaks only English, doesn't speak Spanish, and he's going to do some great training, but are the trainings always in English, or do you think maybe the cruise lines would, the Latin American contact would do some training in Spanish for them as well? Oh.
Yes, so in country and in region, the training that will happen in conjunction with the cruise lines will be in Spanish. Anything that's coming from Virtuoso here, of course, I wish I had better Spanish, but will be in English.
But I can be on the session, and then if they have any doubts, we can always, I'm sure that's going to help. Go ahead.
Christelle, we will also, at the conclusion of this webinar, we will send out the information to you and we'll translate it. So if anybody has any questions, again, we hope to answer them very quickly and help them apply if they need to. Yeah.
Wonderful. Entonces, I'll just say it in Spanish. Entonces, toda la información después de este webinar se va a traducir para que ustedes lo tengan más claro. Toda la información la van a tener también eventualmente traducida. Solamente queríamos ya que se vayan entusiasmando, que vayan pensando, para que el próximo año, cuando se abra el registro, ya sepan bien de qué se trata el programa. Le vamos a ir mandando información constante. And of course, the question is, how many persons of one agency would be eligible to participate, to complete that expression of interest in participating?
I would say this, that we currently don't have a cap or a number that we are saying you can't go over X number of advisors. So I encourage them to apply, and as I mentioned, we'll work with the cruise lines to make the final selection. So there's no cap on the total number of advisors who can apply to be on a team from any given agency.
Perfect. So I just say it in Spanish. Entonces, no hay un límite en la cantidad de personas que se pueden registrar, que pueden completar la expresión de interés. Entonces, todos aquellos que quieran de una agencia lo pueden hacer. Luego se va a trabajar con las líneas de cruceros para definir quiénes van a ser los participantes y, por supuesto, con la autorización del dueño o gerente de su agencia. And another question is, from the same agency, advisors from one same agency, do they all have to choose the same cruise line?
No, they should choose a cruise line where they want to build their business. So no, they can choose the one that makes the most sense to them.
Perfecto. Entonces, no hace falta que todos los asesores de una agencia elijan en la misma naviera. Cada asesor puede elegir una naviera diferente y luego, por supuesto, que dependerá de la naviera de Virtuoso y de su owner manager su participación o no. And I'm just going to mention what you mentioned on another session you had for the US about that they can choose, if they're selling a lot of one cruise and they want to learn more about another one and start selling another, they can choose a different one, right?
Once they're confirmed on a team, they're committed to the year. They can't switch teams at that point.
Perfecto. Entonces, si ustedes venden mucho de una naviera y quieren involucrarse aún más con esa naviera, pueden seleccionar esa naviera. O si quieren comenzar a vender más otra, pues elijan otra de que no venden tanto. Pero lo que no pueden hacer es cambiarse una vez que han empezado. Una vez que son aceptados para participar en un team, en un equipo, ahí tienen que quedarse por el año completo. Let me see. Okay, so the question is when can they subscribe? So I'll just answer that again. Todavía no está abierto el registro, todavía no está abierto la opción de poder completar la expresión de interés en participar. Vamos a estar mandando información en las próximas semanas y las primeras semanas de enero, y el registro se va a abrir a mediados de enero para que ya los asesores puedan completar sus registros. Pero ya voy a estar yo enviándoles información para que ya vayan empapándose, viendo, enterándose y ya puedan decidir sus asesores y ustedes para mediados de enero si completan su expresión de interés en participar. I think we don't have any more questions. Let me just give another look here. Yeah, I think that's all. So no more questions, Tony.
Cristal, and thank you, gracias to all of our members. We are so excited to roll this out to Mexico, and we look forward to helping you in any way we possibly can. And we appreciate that you took the time today to join us. And so on behalf of myself and Mallory, Cristal, and Daniel, we so appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Just 1 second. I have another question for me. They're asking me if
Sure.
I'm going to send that format for them to register, to complete the expression of interest. Yes, va a aparecer en virtuoso.com, va a haber un mensaje general de Virtuoso y también yo lo voy a estar mandando. So yes, I'll be following up on this. Wonderful.
Coming soon. Yes, wonderful. Soon. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.